Equinizers, welcome to this video where the equine dentist is coming, which is a vet that has special training in doing dentistry. And I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the process and some of the things I'm doing, which starts way before the vet gets here. And I start with giving my horses some ACE, which is kind of like a little bit of a sedative while they're out in the field. And what this does is it helps them be more prepared and better for when the vet arrives. And so the ACE is a sedative that works well with the other medications that they're going to get when the vet arrives and they get sedated for their teeth being done. And so I go out in the field at least an hour before it's their turn to give them a little bit of ACE, and it's okay for them to stay in the field because it's okay if they still eat. It doesn't do a whole lot. As you can see, little Dare Bear is still awake there as she's going to get her IV and her sedation. And then after they are sedated, they often check the horse's teeth with a camera so they can see what's going on. And you can see she's got some spots where there's like some serious gunk building up. Her teeth probably were not well maintained when she was much younger, and so she does have a bit of a wave to her teeth, like they're not all in super straight alignment and didn't have enough room. And so we manage them the best we can. So because she's an older pony, we get her teeth done every single year. Some of our younger horses, we do them every other year because we definitely want to make sure that we keep on top of them and make sure that we're checking for things being right or wrong or that need help. But otherwise, we can kind of do a plan that works for the budget, you could say, and still keep care of their teeth, because these visits cost around $300, sometimes $400, depends on what they get done during the visit. Sometimes you can be lucky and it's $200, but depending on how much sedation they need, that's a factor involved as well. So this is Khaleesi, and this is one of the things to know about getting the horse's teeth done, that it's super important you get a vet that's really well trained and experienced in doing teeth, and ideally that has a camera to check their work. My horses used to be done by a vet that had some great school training, but maybe not in the industry a long time, but they overheated my horse's teeth with the power tools and caused cheek tooth fractures, including Khaleesi, and she needed one of those teeth pulled. Whereas when we had the vet to come out to use the camera and check everything and use x-rays to check everything, we discovered that the horses that had never been done by the previous vet, they like 0% of them had cheek tooth fractures, whereas the vet that had seen my horses, 100% of them, which is, there were at least 4, I think it was, that were done by them, they all had cheek tooth fractures. So I really recommend a vet that can be looking with a camera to really see what's going on, but also somebody who's really knowledgeable and has a lot of practice, because if they use the power tool too long without giving it a rest break to not overheat the tooth, that's where a lot of issues can happen, or if they overfloat. So there's a bunch of things that can go wrong. So here they're able to really look at the teeth and see a lot more. And based on what they were seeing in Khaleesi, they decided that she really needed to have an x-ray done, because what happens is you might see something that looks like an ulcer or a bit of a root that's not right. And when you do an x-ray, that lets you see, is the root actually healthy? Is it aggravated? What's going on? And I did notice that Khaleesi had dropped a little bit of weight. And so it could be that a tooth is bothering her and causing a little bit of pain, and therefore not eating as much or not eating as evenly, and then losing a little bit of weight. It's something that happens. And she is a bit older now. I believe she's 18. So it's something that we got to monitor. So this is her x-rays that were taken. And the root looks okay, maybe a little bit irritated, so we're not going to pull a tooth just yet. You really only want to pull a tooth if it's absolutely needed, because then there's no tooth on the opposite side for them to grind their food against and to also wear down. So we're going to keep an eye on it, and then when we recheck later, we'll see how she's doing. This is a little bit of what they look like after having their teeth done, as they're sobering up from their sedation. And they just basically get to have a good nap. And I'd rather my horses be comfortable as they're getting their teeth done, because it's an important thing to make sure that they're able to eat their food, they're not in any pain. And so I'd rather them, have the sedation and be happy campers afterwards. So for them, it's just a good experience. And it is very loud too. So I'll play a little clip. So you can hear that that is quite loud, and so it's nice for them to have that sedation as well, so they're not worked up about anything. I want the vet to be able to work on the horses comfortably, and I want the horse to be comfortable during the procedure too. So the horses had some good checkups. We'll definitely keep you updated on how Khaleesi does with her tooth. And then coming up next, you're going to see Aoife, who's going to be getting her teeth done, but that'll be the next video. Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.